In the spring of 1865, Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C., became the setting of a historic tragedy. It would change the course of history in the United States. On April 14th, as theater staff prepared for an evening production of a popular comedy, President Lincoln met with his cabinet at the White House to plan the reunification of the country. Confederate General Robert E. Lee had recently surrendered, and victory for the Union now seemed inevitable. The city was in a festive mood. That evening, to celebrate, Lincoln and his wife Mary traveled the 6 blocks from the White House to Ford's Theater. Seated in the president's box, which overlooked the stage, Lincoln had no idea that Confederate sympathizer John Wilkes Booth was waiting to strike. An actor who had performed at Ford's before, Booth strongly supported slavery and saw Lincoln as a tyrant who must be overthrown. During the show's 3rd act, just as the audience burst into laughter, Booth entered the president's box and fired a shot to Lincoln's head. Jumping onto the stage, Booth is said to have shouted, "Thus always to tyrants," in Latin, before escaping through a back door. Doctors carried Lincoln to a boarding house across the street, where he died from his wound the following morning. As news of the tragedy spread across the country, the manhunt for Booth was already underway. Tracked to a Virginia farmhouse less than 2 weeks later, the president's assassin refused to surrender and was killed at the scene. Though Lincoln's life was cut short, his work to abolish slavery and bring the country together continued. Today, Ford's Theater stands as a tribute to the 16th president and a symbol of resilience and courage during a time of national adversity. Why did Booth think that President Lincoln was a tyrant?